AM 1280, News Talk, KIT. Dave Lance, Jack Selnian, and you. And joining us in studio, first of our candidate interviews as we have a visit with folks who want to represent us all on City Council.
That's right.
Brad Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Do your intro, Lance Tormey. Yeah. Do your intro.
Yeah, is that it? Yeah.
That's
Brad,
good.
we got Brad Hill in here from District 6. He's a Yakima native. Currently, you are the director. I should let you say all this, but yeah, you certainly you're working hard down at Fort Simcoe. Currently, director of the Fort Simcoe Job Corps in White Swan. And served in the Marine Corps, and also as a civilian. We were just talking about Mosul because you spent some time in Mosul, and now you want to go to war here in Yakima. A lot different. I didn't mean that. But anyway, welcome to the studio this morning, Brad.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Let's hope it doesn't come to war in
Yeah,
Yakima. That's probably
that's right. Well, tell us about yourself. Tell us who Brad is. I kind of gave one a little bit, but
Sure.
Tell us who you are.
Well, I think first and foremost, I'm a leader that really cares about common sense policies. I think a lot of things become a little extremist from time to time in our, in politics today, and so, I'm really proud that I seem to get support from both ends of the spectrum, from conservatives and even, some progressives, whatever that means these days. Yeah. And so, I really want to, if I was lucky enough to be elected on to City Council, I want to work with the other council members and learn as quickly as possible so we don't really, lose any ground. We got a lot of important things going on in the city right now, so I think it's important that we get right in the saddle and get back to work when the new council is seated.
Do you have how would you characterize yourself if you're someone that who believes that they can work with both sides of the aisle, and you maybe have received some support for both sides? How would you characterize yourself? Not, I know city council job is a nonpartisan job, but
sure.
If people were said to you, "Are you a conservative? Or you?" Look.
Yeah, I'm fiscally conservative. I'm really concerned with the taxpayers' money. In my current job and most of my federal career, that's just something you're tasked to do. You don't get to waste money, and you're accountable for every dollar. So that just comes as second nature. And why wouldn't you be? I think it's important that I'm from here. I was born here. I plan on dying here. So I want the best deal citizens can get, regardless if it's the Sozo or the Chesterley Park or really any project that the city would take on. Municipal government really should be called municipal service providers. So it's important to provide service and to make sure that that service is provided as ethically and responsibly as possible.
Had you had much interest in? How long have you been back from the service? Let me start.
So just to be clear, I was in the Marine Corps for 5 years. I was enlisted in the Marine Corps. I wasn't an officer, and I was an Arabic linguist. And I enlisted before 9/11. So I thought I'd have this quiet existence, kind of just
Sit in the back room, practicing my Farsi. Right?
Yeah, right. Yeah. So I learned Modern Standard Arabic in Monterey. So that that was a beautiful place to go to your initial MOS school, and so I really have a lot of respect for the soldiers, sailors, Marines, and airmen that were really in it. I was an infantryman, and I thought I'd sit at NSA and wasn't quite sure what we do. But when 9/11 happened, things kind of became. Linguists and Arabic analysts kind of came to the forefront in national strategic intelligence.
Get Hill in here. We've got work to do.
I wish, but not.
Wow.
Yeah, but so then after that, after 5 years, I came home and I was going to go to law school, but I got a job offer back east 6 weeks later. So I just turned my car around and drove back to D.C. and I worked at Defense Intelligence Agency for many years. Better part of a decade, and I was a congressional liaison, and so I had a lot of fun out there. But my dad got sick in 2012, and that was kind of the impetus to come
back this way.
Yeah, so I've been back about 5 years.
You just couldn't leave the haircut behind, could you?
Yeah. Well, when you start losing your hair, there's only so many haircuts that look good.
Yeah. Come on.
I got you. All right. So, at what point did local politics start to catch your eye of interest?
I started to hear that our current council member, Maureen Atkinson, out in District 6 wasn't going to run, and some people joked, "Oh, you should run," and I kind of laughed it off. And then I started thinking about it a little bit more. I thought, well, it's really important as a federal employee I remain nonpartisan, and I thought, well, it's a nonpartisan race, and so kind of the middle of April, some prominent citizens approached me and asked me if I'd be willing to run, and I toyed around with it.
That's probably good.
Started taking it more seriously, and the day before the deadline to file, I threw my hat in the ring, and so we'll see how it goes.
Well, one of the things that the process is odd from having been through it myself and not having any political background prior to,
right,
kind of like yourself. It's odd because people expect you to know all the issues and have all the answers.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that has always irked me is the people that were the chicken in every pot and all of this kind of stuff. It's like, I don't know what I don't know, but I know how to learn it, and once I do, I'll get back to you on what we're going to do. I mean, I never felt comfortable in proclaiming all the fixes. How do you feel as you look at this? Is there some things that you already have some ideas on, a beat on, and what you might want to?
Well, you know, I think first and foremost, organizational leadership skills tend to translate from any organization to another. If you've been a leader and you've made hard decisions and you are okay with telling somebody no, with being unpopular, and then I think you're at a good place to start at. I think that there's a study session for city council, and there's a purpose for those sessions. And when you're talking about using somebody else's money, I think that the city council members, and I'm not saying they don't now, like you said, I don't know what I don't know. I'm not being presumptuous. I don't know
right.
how long they spend in study session, but I would want to spend as long as necessary speaking with the lawyers and speaking with city staff or whoever else we need to call in, because what's the rush? We look at the major capital projects we have, like the Sozo and Chesterley Park, the Plaza. I think we owe it to people to study it and study it and study it until we're satisfied to go into chambers and bring it up and make motions and vote on it. And people are concerned. You know, people are concerned about just. I hear a lot of people say, "Well, all this investment's great, but I just want to make sure that we take care of the bread and butter, which is garbage removal, streets, basic infrastructure, stuff like that." So I think it's important that we are really deliberative and calm, cool, collected, and consistent in our delivery of municipal services.